Have you ever noticed something strange? You change jobs and it's the same energy, same type of drama. You change your situation and you have the same emotional patterns going on. Maybe you changed your relationship and you seem to have met the same person all over again. It's like different faces, but the same experience. And for a long time, I felt like I was just stuck or I just had bad luck or something. But then I had a thought that honestly made me feel uncomfortable. I started thinking maybe I'm the problem. And then, I thought a little more and I realized that maybe I'm the common denominator in all of this. Hi, and welcome back to Enchant Your Life. On this channel, we talk about all things spiritual and ways to live an empowered and the magical life that you deserve. Now, today, we're going to talk about how your inner world reflects your outer world. We're not going to be talking about blame and shame, but we're just going to go deeper into understanding how your awareness can make a huge difference in your life. Okay, now I want you to think about your life as a repeating story. Like I was saying, same situation, same type of emotional feelings and things like that. And you have the same type of response to things over and over again, like a pattern. You're not just attracting people and situations, you're actually participating in the way they unfold in your life. And it's not always consciously. A lot of times it's unconscious. We don't even realize we're doing it. And it has a lot to do with what we believe about ourselves. I even had my own pattern that I started calling King Koopa. Certain people would show up in my life with a certain dynamic, and it would be like a big energy, someone with a huge narcissistic type of vibe going on. And this type of person would keep showing up over and over in my life, whether it was a boss. Actually, I had a couple of bosses like that. Whether it was a friendship, a relationship, whatever it is, I kept coming across this type of person that tried to make me feel smaller than I was. And the thing is, the reason I kept meeting this person over and over was because I kept tolerating the dynamic. I didn't set boundaries. I didn't speak up for myself. So those people actually showed up in my life to teach me a lesson that I needed to learn, something I needed to grow through. And when I finally did, when I finally set boundaries, when I finally stood up and spoke for myself, when things were unfair, or whatever the case is, when I had my own back and confronted these people, they actually went away or they treated me better. And the thing is, I learned my lesson from them. They no longer needed to show up to teach me anything because I grew and evolved as a person. And so I wouldn't attract King Koopa again. And if I do attract King Koopa in the future, I know how to handle that type of person and that type of energy. So it's not going to faze me at all. Now, I want to talk about something else. This is where manifestation is real. Okay, I'm not talking about vision boards and affirmations. I love that stuff and it always helps. But I'm talking about identity. When you become that person who does not allow certain things to happen to you, you change the dynamic of all your experiences. Your identity, the person you think you are, or the person you want to be, you have to embody that, and that person will probably not allow someone to treat you badly. That person is going to walk away from experiences that don't serve her. That person decides what to accept, what to ignore, what to walk away from, and what to stay in. And over time, that shapes your entire reality. So some people say, why does this keep happening to me over and over again? But the deeper question, the real question is, what part of me sees this as familiar and maybe even comfortable? Sometimes you have to get uncomfortable to adopt a new identity and let go of all that old stuff. And there is good news. You are not trapped in that emotional cycle. You're not stuck. You can get out of any type of situation that keeps repeating over and over that you don't like by just deciding to respond differently. Because the new version of you, that new identity, won't respond to things the same way the old you would. So if someone says something to you don't like, and the old you maybe would have just, walked away, said nothing, and maybe complained to a friend or whatever the case is, the new you may stand up to the person and say, no more. You need to have respect for me, or else we're not going to be having this conversation. Something like that. You have to respond differently than the old version of you. And as soon as you respond differently, trust me, things will change quickly. The vibration you put out is what you get back. The world is a mirror to you. So when you have self-respect and you step up and you have your own back, everything around you changes. And people's reactions and responses to you change as well. And it sounds really simple, right? But I know it's not easy sometimes. Sometimes you have to get pushed to that point where you can't take it anymore. I hope you don't have to do that. And you can recognize when something is a pattern and you can change it pretty quickly. But sometimes you do get to a breaking point or a point where you just can't tolerate something anymore, and you just kind of crack and you say what you gotta say what's on your heart, and don't be afraid. And when that happens, you may have to go through a difficult situation of saying goodbye to the old version of you. People are also going to be, probably grieving the old version of you as well, because you are growing and evolving, and that's a good thing. And you just have to, let go of the old version and say goodbye. There was a time where I was at work and I spoke up, and I knew the dynamics and everything was going to change forever. And yes, I felt proud of myself for stepping up and speaking up. But shortly after, I found myself in tears because I didn't expect the tears to come. But I realized that I was, sad to say goodbye to that familiar person who held everything inside. It was a very strange feeling, but it happens. You start to grieve that person that you used to be. So don't be surprised if those types of feelings come up. You can get through it because you're not going back to being that older version again, okay? Keep your head up. Keep moving forward. I love you. I've been through the same type of stuff, so it's all good, all right? So if you're in a season of noticing negative patterns and things like that in your life, I invite you to say some affirmations with me right now and feel them when you say them. If you don't feel the affirmations when you say them, they're not going to work. They're not going to shift anything. You have to try to embody what you're saying. And if you want, you can repeat them every day or as often as you like until you actually start to feel it. And when you feel it and you transform and become what those affirmations are saying, you no longer need the affirmations and you can move on. So here we go. The first affirmation is, I am no longer available for what drains me. I trust myself to recognize familiar patterns early. I speak up for myself with ease and clarity. I am allowed to grow and change and choose differently. I no longer need to repeat lessons that I've already learned. And I'm going to throw in this last one that I always love to say to myself, when I was starting to learn to use my voice and be in situations that may have been uncomfortable. Here's one from Louise Hay that I loved saying, and it helped me so much. And sometimes I still use it today. So it goes, I am blessed and anointed, divinely guided and protected. I am safe. I am loved. I belong. My doggy Milo is tapping me, so I'm going to pick him up so he can join our conversation. He loves to join our Zoom. He loves to join our YouTube videos. I said Zoom because actually I want to invite you to a Zoom special Enchanted Sunday Gathering. If this conversation resonated with you, we're going to go deeper in our Enchanted Sunday Gathering. And it's called Change the Way You Look at Things and Watch Your Life Change. It's all about shifting your perspective on people and situations so that you can shift what you manifest and manifest more of what you want and what you prefer. The smallest shift can make a huge change in your life. So I'm going to leave the link in the description. So make sure if you're interested, please register. It is free and I hope to see you there. And if you want to join a supportive community of like-minded women who are exploring their spirituality and mindset and their power, all wanting to live their best and most magical, fulfilling life, I invite you to join our community called Enchant Your Life Circle. I'll also leave that link in the description as well. So at the end of the day, maybe life wasn't just repeating itself over and over and over. Maybe life was inviting you to become someone new or to become more of your true self. And if you like this conversation, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share with a friend who would also love to hear this message. I wrote a song to go along with this video, so it should show up somewhere on the screen. Go ahead and click it. I hope you enjoy it. Stay enchanted, and I will see you next time. Bye. Love ya.